Getting leads from the Google Business Profile is easier than you think. And in this video, I'm going to break down how we get our internal clients quality leads from the Google Business Profile every single week. All right, now, before I get into this, I always like to address the elephant in the room. Everybody and their dog talks about the Google Business Profile. What I want to be very specific for is this video is built for general contractors and home remodeling companies, people that offer remodeling as a service, because this service and how we approach it is how we get our high-ticket clients high-ticket jobs. So if you're a plumber or an electrician or somebody that's doing a couple $100 work like handyman work, that you can implement this stuff from this video and I'm sure it'll help. I just don't have a wall of case studies to prove it to you. My name is Ben. I run Maps Machine, and what my company does better than anybody else on the planet is help remodeling companies get the high quality leads that actually close for high quality revenue. So we're not talking about handyman work here. We're talking about bathroom, kitchen, full home, basement, home builds, the type of work that you do a couple jobs a year, and we're already talking in the 7-figure range. If that's interesting to you, stick around because this video will knock your socks off. So in order to build a Google Business Profile that's actually going to bring you high quality work, we need to do something very important first. We're going to call this step one. And step one is to agree on the strategy moving forward. And I want to give you a good example here of what I mean so that you can understand how we approach this problem. Imagine that you are a general contractor, and maybe this is you. And let's say that I could wave my magic wand and you as a general contractor would magically appear at the very top of Google. Now, as you know, at the top of Google, there are still other competitors. Usually there are 3 in the map pack or a couple of others that show up in the AI overview if you're using ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or AI mode, whatever it may be. Google never just recommends one company. Now, if you're a general contractor and you're ranking in the top 3, which would be like the big case study for a general SEO company, well, there's also going to be competitors there. And let's say that my wife is searching for a bathroom remodel. Well, she's going to go to Google and she's going to look up bathroom remodel, and up pops your company. You're a general contractor. Well, also in the top 3 with you, you also have a kitchen remodeler and a bathroom remodeler. Now, my wife, looking at those top 3 options, who do you think she's going to pick for her bathroom remodel? The general contractor, you, a random kitchen remodeling company, or the bathroom remodeler? See, this is the change that AI has made in the local marketing scene for remodeling companies. We can't just list ourselves as a general contractor anymore, because even if I wave my magic SEO marketing wand and actually get you there, it doesn't guarantee the customer's going to pick you or even click on you. And that's the big problem that I'm seeing across the board for all the general contractors that are coming in and talking to me and getting help, is that these are older marketing strategies in terms of getting ranked as a general contractor. And now that these new categories exist, and more importantly, now that AI is helping customers find you and already, the AI will scrape your website and scrape your Google Business Profile and help the customer kind of pick you before you've even been shown to them. Telling the customer what you do is the utmost important thing you can do on your profile. So this is what I mean by actually deciding on a strategy, is instead of being a general contractor that's ranked at the top for every single type of keyword, which would be a huge SEO win, we need to determine what you do best. And this is a hard conversation to have, because most people, when I say this, they're like, oh, well, if you can wave your magic wand, I would like to be top ranked for custom home builds, because obviously those are the biggest jobs. Well, again, you have to get the customer to pick you. So if you're looking in your local market and there's a bunch of custom home building companies that are bigger, better, and stronger than you, why would they pick you even if you were in the top 3? So remember, SEO is not just about the magic wand, it's about getting customers to pick you. And we're going to break those 2 things down in just a second once we go over the last 2 things regarding strategy. So again, the first part of your strategy is to determine what type of work you're going to specialize in. Usually I like to focus on one of 5 industries: bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling, basement remodeling, full home remodeling, or custom home building. These are kind of the main 5, with a couple of additionals in terms of like exterior remodeling, like building a deck or something like, working on the siding of a company. When you look at just the home and the higher ticket work, the goal is to focus on one of those things, not 10 of those things. The goal of picking this strategy, the goal of deciding on a service that you're going to specialize in, is going to have amazing downstream effects, but it's really going to allow us to do 2 things in this strategy that are going to really crush it for you. And those 2 things are deciding on a new name for the company that matches that service, and then verifying that you pick a category that matches that service. So once we pick that main service, we decide that instead of being a general contractor, we are now going to be a bathroom remodeling company. Well, we can do a quick doing business as, or a DBA of your business name, and basically pick your brand name. So let's say my company is Maps Machine. If I were to open up a Google business profile for remodeling a bathroom, it would be Maps Machine Bathroom Remodeling. See how that works? Now customers right off the gate know exactly what I do. The next thing we can do is pick a category on Google that matches what we do. So instead of picking the primary category on Google that says general contractor, we're going to pick the primary category that matches what we do, right? We're going to pick bathroom remodeler. And when we do these three things, when we decide on our specialty, we name our company after our specialty, and we pick a category that lives inside of that specialty, not only does that help Google rank you higher and get you better in the map pack, and AI will start recommending you more, but even more so, the customers that are looking for example, bathroom remodel, just to kind of stay with the theme here, they're going to pick you more often because you're the specialist. Because again, with these high ticket jobs, do you want to work with somebody that does everything and kind of just makes it work? Or do you want to work with the best? I think it's pretty clear who you would pick. So more importantly, the person who picks the specialist, some of the downstream effects I was just talking about, they don't negotiate on price because they're working with the specialist. They work with you quickly and they make decisions quickly because they respect your specialist's time. And then lastly, you close more deals because you are the specialist and they expect you to do great work just by the fact that your company has been branded around this one service. These are some of the downstream effects by just making these larger strategic decisions. And without these decisions being made, this is why working with, random marketing companies that are probably doing great work, that's why they're not working for you and getting you lots of leads right now, is because we never made the strategic decision to actually be something that a customer wants. So that's step one. And you can't move on, so you can pretty much pause the video, not watch the rest until those three things are done because of how important they are. I'm gonna give it another alt there instead of saying don't watch the rest. So before you implement anything else that we talk about in the video, I want you to sit there, open up a notebook, and actually write down the primary category, the specialty service you can offer, and a potential couple of DBAs, or doing business as names that you could register in your state that we could use for the rest of this video and actually cover in terms of the next two things we focus on. So now that we've determined the strategy, now we're gonna move forward into step two, which is now that we've determined the strategy, we're gonna move forward into step two. Now, step two is actually split into part A and part B, or part one or part two. And what we're gonna be doing here is actually building out the Google business profile. Now, you've probably hired a marketing company in the past, or you've been cold called 50 times in the last 24 hours about optimizing the Google business profile. And again, without the strategy, you can optimize to the moon and the stars and nothing's gonna happen. But now that you have the strategy, we can start building out the profile so that customers want to pick you. And again, Google's great and all, it's good to get ranked, but if customers don't pick you, who cares? So we're gonna split this next part into two pieces. The first part is SEO, rather making Google love you. Part two over here is CRO, or conversion rate optimization, or better said, making customers love you. Because if we can make Google love you, and if we can make customers love you, when they come together, you get leads. It's really not that complicated to understand, but we get mixed up. So let's go ahead and break down the first piece, making Google love you. Making Google love you is pretty easy. The Google business profile is not a complicated thing. It doesn't take massive SEO skill. It doesn't take a massive brain. All it takes is a very simple approach, which is complete the profile. When you log into your profile, there's gonna be a bunch of options like edit the profile, edit services, edit categories, all this stuff, and it's gonna look confusing. What I want you to look at it like is a to-do list. When you press edit profile, there's gonna be a long list of things to do. Now that you've already determined your strategy, just complete the list. So for example, when you're writing your description, you could either go use AI and have AI write you the description, or write a brief description of your new specialized Google business profile. So instead of saying you're a general contracting company that does everything, you're a bathroom remodeling company that focuses on these types of things inside the bathroom. Custom showers, unique walk-in showers, heaven showers, whatever it may be. You can write a whole description dedicated to that one thing. Are we starting to see why this is powerful? Now, as you go down that list of editing your profile, just complete the work. Don't leave anything blank. Now there's one little thing inside of making Google love you that I don't want you to forget, which is your address. Address verification plays a massive role in how you generate leads on Google. If you're verifying a home address or you're attempting to verify your garage, these are now illegal or against Google's terms of service. So even if you do get those addresses verified by doing one of those video walkthroughs, it's gonna get banned in the future. And because this is playing the foundation of your revenue, Let's do it right from the get-go. So what I'd recommend is go get a really cheap sublease by using Facebook Marketplace or online renting platforms, and lease an office and keep it super cheap. The room I'm sitting in right now is a couple $100 because I'm subleasing it from somebody else. It's a great opportunity, and it's a business address because this business address is going to unlock the ability for Google to rank you for local work. If my service area without an address was the entire state of Utah, for example, why would Google pick me for somebody searching in Orem when there are other companies closer to this potential person searching in Orem, Utah? The address gives you high relevance, and it's a very important piece of the profile that I recommend you complete the right way. Once you complete the entire edit profile section, you're going to have a couple of things pop up, like the edit services, the posts and updates, photos, everything in that long to-do list in the Google Business Profile. I want, again, just focus on it like a to-do list. I just want you to complete it. Don't be some SEO mastermind. Don't try to plug in tons of keywords. Just complete it. It really is quite simple. All you have to do is complete what Google tells you to do. And once you get that little circle at the top, instead of it being red or orange where it says need more information or almost there, once it turns green, the profile is complete. Congratulations, you've done SEO and you no longer have to hire that guy that's cold calling you in exchange for a $300 a month dumb service. It's really, really easy to do that job, which is why they offer it for so cheap. So now that we've completed the SEO portion and we've made Google love you, let's just pretend for a second that you instantly get ranked at the top. Now we have to do the harder part, which is making your customers love you. I want you to walk through this to-do list with me because it's gonna allow you to convert more customers. Because let's pretend in the top 3, now you're ranked and people start clicking on you. They start looking at your profile and looking at the thing you built. Well, if they go there and they find a whole bunch of pictures that have nothing to do with what they're looking for, are they gonna call you? I don't think so. So what we're going to do now for the pictures of your profile, or rather the content of your profile, is I'm going to break this down into 4 simple pieces. First, you need a video of you, the founder, talking to the consumer. Again, this is a large, high-ticket purchase. And it's a pretty weird thing that people are just going to call and trust that this random human's going to come into their home and help them spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you see the problem with that? So let's make a quick 60-second video of you, of the founder, just saying, "Hi, my name is Ben, founder of Maps Machine. I want to just give you a couple of reasons as to why my company is the best at X, Y, and Z thing." And then you tell them. And that way, when someone clicks into your profile, they can get a quick intro to who's going to be entering their home and doing this service. In an age of AI where robots are everywhere, personalization is everything. The second piece of content I want you to get is a walkthrough of a project. When you finish a project, I want you to just walk through it and talk about what you did. So if you just finished a bathroom remodel, talk about how you designed the shower. Talk about how you designed this bathroom before you actually went out and did the bathroom. Talk about the sink or the vanity or the customer's choices that were reflected in the work. All you're doing is walking through the project. Huge bonus points here if you can have the customer there with you. Again, we're just trying to build trust with people that don't trust you yet. Third, one that you've probably heard about is before and afters. Now, a before and after is not uploading 2 separate photos. It's using a simple editing software like Canva to upload one before and one after into the same photo. That way someone can see without scrolling through tons of photos what it looks like before and what it looks like after. If you don't know how to do that, either ask AI how to, ask AI to do it for you, or just upload 2 different photos and make sure you have the word before on one and the name of the job and the word after on the next one and the name of the job. The reason why this is kind of tough though is because Google doesn't necessarily order your photos. So you might end up with a before and then a bunch of photos and then the after a couple of photos later. So that's why we like to do it in one photo. And the last piece is getting at least 5 reviews from your most recent work behind this new strategic directive that we've talked about. So if you've decided to niche down into bathrooms, get 5 reviews as soon as possible about bathroom remodeling. That way when someone is looking through your profile, they found you in the top 3, they've seen photos, they've seen video, they're really interested in you, they're gonna go scroll down to your reviews, and if they see 9 reviews about deck building, why on earth are they gonna pick you? So again, we wanna make sure that we have that congruency. We wanna make sure that we have reviews talking about what you do so that they actually feel like you do it the best. And once you have that, you have the elements that make a completely built out profile. We call that the facelift, or making customers love you. Awesome, so now we have the strategy, we made Google love us, and we made customers love us. Once we have these 3 things all tied together, then we're ready to move on to the last piece, which is just making sure we don't frickin' break it. This is the maintenance portion. And this is what most of those cold callers are really trying to sell you, because it's something that takes you maybe 30 minutes, and it's something that they wanna do in 30 minutes, and charge you several $100s a month for. So hopefully this will save you several $100s a month. Maintaining a profile is really quite easy. This is called activity or profile activity in Google's world. All we're trying to do here is telling Google that we're not a fat and lazy business that did one thing one time and then never touched it again. We're using their platform. Just like when you use social media as a user, social media is going to give you more awareness because you're using their platform. Or if you post more videos, you're going to get more views because you're using the platform. Google is the exact same way. They want you to be active on their platform. So there's 4 signals we can use to get Google to show that you're active. First, make sure you're always getting more reviews. This is the easy one, but I really want to focus on how to ask for a review here. Instead of sending an automated text that makes you feel like a heartless, dumb company, again, AI is great, but in a world of AI, there's always going to be the disruption of being human. And imagine you go sit down for a nice restaurant meal and you get an automated text saying, hey, how was your breadsticks? Or the front house person at the restaurant gives you a phone call after you're done eating as on the drive home and says, hey, this is Sherry from the front of the house. Just wanted to see how your meal was and make sure you were taken care of. Who would you leave a review to? The robot? Or the human? Human every time, baby. So that's the first thing to focus on is if you're relying on automations for reviews, it's good to have those as a backup. But we need to build a system in your company that makes sure that we are asking for reviews. Your team asks for reviews. Your subs ask for reviews. You as the founder will call every project during the project and after the project and ask for reviews. That shows activity. The second way to show activity is what we call review maintenance, or rather review responses. Now, review responses are one of my favorite ways to help someone get more leads, because if someone leaves you a review and you respond with, thanks for the review, Sherry, does that show character? Does that make someone want to pick you? I don't think so. Or rather, let's say you get a bad review and there's no response. That is the worst case scenario. When we're responding to reviews, we want to be professional, but we also want to show personality. So instead of saying, hi, thanks for the review, Sherry. This is Ben from Maps Machine. Really appreciate the time you took. Blah. There are 3 things I like to include in a review response. An appreciation, so something like a thank you or a warm note. Second, name the type of job that you did. And third, talk about something that was unique about the job. So for example, hey Sherry, thank you so much for the review. It was wonderful to take care of your bathroom remodel in this area. I love what you did with the vanity. It really made the room stick out. Does that make sense? It kind of helps people know that this wasn't just a robot on the other side because there was personalization to the response. Again, this is something that takes 3 seconds. That makes amazing effort and amazing progress down the line. It is such a big piece to getting customers to trust you. The third thing on this list is called posts. Now, if you go to your profile on the back end, you'll see this little thing that says posts or update. This is basically just a social media post on your profile. And these can be scheduled out a month in advance. So what I would like to do right now is just pause the video and quickly make 4 posts, 1 per week. And these posts are really simple. Take a quick photo of your work and upload it as a post with a little blurb like, love this project or something like that. People don't generally look at these. We have found these to be pretty useless from making the customers love you, but this is actually more for Google, telling Google that you're an active company on their platform. So make a couple posts and schedule them out a couple weeks in advance. Do this once a month and it takes like an hour max. And the last piece is just keeping pictures updated. If the last photo you updated was like 4 years old, it kind of shows Google and your customers that you're not doing any work. And that's not necessarily the type of company that your customers want to work with, especially when you've proclaimed that you're a specialist. So we want to make sure that we keep your photos up to date and recent. And that's it. That's the whole Google Business Profile. So just to go over this again really quickly, we decided on a strategy, a niche, and a specialization, and we reflected that on the profile by doing a DBA and picking a primary category that matches. The reason we do the DBA is so you can actually name your company on the profile after your category, and we're picking the primary category to tell customers that you're the best at it. Then step 2 is we made Google love you, and we made your customers love you by doing some SEO and by showing customers that you know what you're doing and you're someone that they can trust. And then lastly, we maintain the system by doing some simple work once or twice a month and building simple review systems into the company so that you never have to hire some dumb cold caller for $400 a month to optimize your Google Business Profile. There is no optimization. There is only maintenance. Once you build this out correctly, the type of results that you can see from a properly built Google Business Profile in the remodeling category is anywhere from 2 to 5 quality leads a week if you're going after more of those volume jobs like bathrooms or kitchens, or maybe 1 to 2 qualified leads a month if you're going after custom home builds or something much bigger. And that's because we're trying to generate lots of trust with the consumer so that they trust us enough to come in and do these bigger projects. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below about any questions you have. This is our internal strategy. This is what we do for our VIP clients. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to break it down for you. And then also this video, this next one that you can watch, is focused on the entire system that we build in addition to the Google Business Profile that helps you get more leads every single month without spending a fortuitous sum of money to make it happen. See you in the next one.